A 20-year-old gang member, Tahau, whose criminal spree covered the North Island and involved the grievous act of slicing off a shop worker's thumb, has been sentenced to 8 years and 4 months in jail. Additionally, Judge Glen Marshall in the Hamilton District Court imposed a minimum non-parole period of half the sentence for his involvement in numerous aggravated robberies. One of his brutal acts took place at the Irvine Street dairy in Hamilton. Tahau stormed into the store armed with a menacing machete and accompanied by 3 cohorts on December 17, 2022. While his co-offenders pillaged the dairy, ultimately stealing $15,000 worth of cigarettes, Tahau approached the attendant and his victim, Nabeen, who begged for mercy. He then threatened his victim and mercilessly struck Nabeen's hand with a machete, chopping off his left thumb. Upon hearing victim's cries, a passerby rushed to intervene. Confronting the group, the passerby was then punched to the jaw from one of the offenders, causing him to collapse. As he fled towards the getaway car, Tahau aggressively swung his machete, narrowly avoiding the man who had tried to help. The video captures the passerby rendered unconscious on the road. The entire incident was captured on the shop's CCTV camera and was later released by the police to the media. The footage provided a detailed account of the intense events, enabling the judge to witness the sequence of actions that unfolded during the incident. The distressing footage unveils a particularly alarming detail. Tahau emerges as the sole individual within the group wielding the menacing machete, and he employs it with ruthless efficiency. The video captures the chilling moment when he, with calculated intensity, uses the weapon not only on the initial victim but also on a well-intentioned Good Samaritan who courageously stepped forward to offer assistance. The unfolding events showcase a brazen display of violence, with Tahau dominating the situation through the sheer force of the machete. After completing their mission, the group is quickly seen escaping the scene with their loot. Amidst the haste, the Good Samaritan is poignantly spotted lying in the bottom right-hand corner. Fog is seen swirling on the top left corner, created by the activated fog cannons that were installed in the shop. Tahau, who was on electronically monitored bail at the time for an earlier aggravated robbery, then went on the run for 6 weeks before eventually being arrested in Palmerston North after stealing vehicles at gunpoint. He was also involved in the aggravated robberies of a Ford Falcon on 25th of August, a Spark store in Tahau on 31st of August, and a Black Bull liquor store in Cambridge on 11th of December. In his initial public statement since the incident, the victim revealed that while his thumb had been successfully reattached, it still had limited function. He depended on others for basic tasks such as eating and driving. The victim mentioned that the doctors had informed him that it might take 1 to 2 years to regain sensation and full use of his hand, or it might not recover at all. The loss of the ability to use his hand deeply saddened him, as he had been accustomed to being independent. Moreover, he and his wife continued to grapple with the emotional toll of losing their baby. Sadly, she suffered a miscarriage just days after the incident, attributed to the stress they experienced. Presently, the victim copes with constant severe pain and takes daily painkillers to manage it. Tahau admitted about 15 charges in November, including intent to cause grievous bodily harm, aggravated robbery, unlawfully getting into a motor vehicle, assault with a weapon, and dangerous driving. Upon arrest, Tahau was convicted and remanded in custody. In the Hamilton High Court, his solicitor pushed for discounts totaling to 60%, including for youth, a Section 27 regarding his cultural report, his guilty pleas and remorse. According to the solicitor, he was only 18 when the offending began, also had ADHD, which combined with the impulsivity of youth that affected his behavior, and at the time of Irvine Street robbery, he was high on methamphetamine. He was also born into a gang environment and was even named after a gang member and dressed in gang colors from birth. When his father came back into his life, he unfortunately taught him how to use weapons to solve problems and took him off his ADHD medication. Tahau was supported in court by family and friends, was remorseful for what happened and pushed against Crown Solicitor submission of a minimum non-parole period. In jailing Tahau, Judge Glen Marshall labeled the violence in the Irvine Street incident as highly gratuitous, premeditated, and with multiple attackers. The victim was vulnerable, trapped, unarmed, and posed no threat to you. He took a starting point of 15 years before issuing a 25% discount for his guilty plea. Tahau was imprisoned to serve at least half of his 8-year and 4-month sentence and disqualified from driving for a year on driving charges.